Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 4 at Santa Anita on Saturday kicks off the Breeders' Cup portion of the Santa Anita card. It is the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, and our coverage is supported today by Racing Blue Storm, a breakthrough in sports nutrition for horses, designed by nature, improved by science. Racing Blue Storm. Here's the field for race number 4 at Saturday. It's a Breeders' Cup card at Santa Anita. It's the Filly and Mare Sprint. 7 furlongs, $1 million is the purse. We have 9 horses entered in this race. Covfefe is your morning line favorite at 2-1. As we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, we know where Covfefe is going to be. She's going to be out there among the early leaders. Do you think the 2 Danskas, my girl, can keep her occupied, soften her up, and set her up for a closer or a stalker?
I mean, that's if you're going to try and beat her at what should be a relatively short price. I think that's the way you have to look at the race. There is speed to her outside. Not only the 2, Selcourt's in this race too, Dan. She's a fast horse drawn to the outside. I don't see why she would be in here if they weren't trying to send her towards the front. This pace could get contested.
I think it will be more contested than Timeform US has. And I'm very surprised that they have Selcourt sitting in 3rd on the pace projector, because we know that she is a wickedly fast mare. But let's begin with Covfefe, the number 1 in this race. 107 buyer speed figures this year. And a win in the Grade 1 test, the signature race for 3-year-old filly sprinters in North America. In this race, she's pressing Serengeti Empress to the inside. Of course, the Kentucky Oaks winner. They were supposed to duel themselves into defeat. Well, they basically ran 1-2 around the track. Let's give Covfefe some credit here. She pressed Serengeti Empress hard. She's digging in. She's given up experience to this horse, and she's just better on the day.
Yeah, she ran a really good race here. As you mentioned, it's a really good effort for her. She's run faster than that on 2 other occasions, a couple of buyer speed figures that just make her really tough in this race. She's just the horse to beat. Being drawn on the rail this time, though, in a race with speed to her outside, I think there is a chance that this could be tougher for her, Dan. She feels like she could be under pressure every step of the way in this race, and that could make a difference.
Oh no, she's going to have to earn this Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint if she wins it. She's got to be on ascend under Joel Rosario. She's likely going to take 2 waves of pace pressure, and then here come the quality closers. At a short price, I understand if that's not an appealing proposition to some. You might also argue she's the most naturally talented runner in this race. She came out of the test, she breezed in the dogwood. That was basically nothing more than a paid workout. Nice to see that the runner-up Bells the One came back to win the Raven Run Stakes at Keeneland last week. The 2 is Danska's My Girl. This horse is a 6-time winner. She likes to race near the front. She didn't get near the front in the TCA last time out.
No, she didn't. You can put a line through that race. Her other form, I don't know that it necessarily makes her a strong contender in here, but she does have speed.
Heaven Has My Nikki pulled off an upset in the Grade 3 Vagrancy Handicap, a minor one at that, paying $10 with a 95 buyer speed figure, but she did so on the lead, and she's pretty quick. She had her local prep at her home track of Thistledown. We'll take a look at that race right now. This race is for Ohio breds. She is 1-20 in here, and she wins off like a 1-20 shot should, with an 85 buyer speed figure. I won't put too much stock in the buyer. Listen, she's a graded stakes winner this year. She's won 8 of 15. She just seems in a little bit tough here, especially if she has to push a horse like Covfefe.
Yeah, her running style doesn't actually do her any favors in here, because she seems like a horse who wants to race close to the pace. That could work against her in this race. She has won 3 in a row. Off the layoff last time, she could reasonably take a step forward off of that race, Dan, but how much more room for improvement does she have? Because she really has to step forward to beat this field.
Well, we talked about Covfefe's 2 107 buyer speed figures this year, surpassed by Come Dancing's 114 buyer at this distance in the Grade 3 Distaff Handicap at Aqueduct to kick off her campaign. All of her sprint races have been very good this year, and last time out in the Gallant Bloom Handicap, just a prep for her at Belmont. She sat off the pace. She's cruising up to take the lead 3 wide. She lugs in a little bit, takes her a while to change leads, but she does what she has to do, and she does it in quick time with a 98 buyer speed figure. Her connections have to be thrilled that they draw outside a couple of these speeds, because she can stalk and finish.
Yeah, she's got the right running style for this. This is a thoroughly dominant prep win for her. I don't think it was the most visually appealing win necessarily, but she won that race very easily. She will be off the pace in this race. She's fast enough to win. She's had issues at the starting gate in her last 4 races. They aren't necessarily terrible starts, but she hasn't gotten out of the gate cleanly in any of those races. That's a problem for her. She cannot afford to break slowly in this race, but otherwise, to me, she is a huge contender and the main threat to Covfefe, I think.
Lady Ninja claimed for $32,000 in September of 2018 for Richard Baltas. Now a graded stakes winner. We'll go back to that signature victory in the LA Woman last time out. That's Selcourt on the lead, but remember, Selcourt was returning off of a lengthy layoff. Lady Ninja got a really clever ride from Drayden Van Dyke, easing out, and they're going to throw it down now in the final eighth of a mile. I thought both of these mares ran well. A really promising performance for Selcourt especially.
Yeah, I agree with that. This filly, Lady Ninja, has clearly improved since the claim. She's run some really nice races. She's run a couple of speed figures that put her close. I liked her win last time. I'm not so sure that Selcourt maybe isn't the horse you want out of that race, though.
The number 6, Bellafina, is a 3-time Grade 1 stakes winner. 2 of those Grade 1 wins came at Santa Anita. We have always maintained that this is a filly, like her brother Diamond King, that wants shorter distances. She wants to sprint. I thought she ran pretty well in the cotillion last time out, Mike, considering it was 2 turns, probably a little far for her, and she was going very fast on the pace, and she finished a solid 4th. This is her 3rd start since the Kentucky Oaks. We love turnbacks at 7 furlongs. Why can't she come rolling late 4 for 4 lifetime at the Great Race Place?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does, because I think just based on what she's done so far, and even being a 3-time Grade 1 winner, as you mentioned, she just can't win this race based on any of her efforts to date. So I think you have to ask yourself, what is going to be different in this race? Because so far, anyway, as far as I'm concerned, I really liked her 3-year-old debut. She won a Grade 1 2 starts after that. But other than that, she doesn't seem like a horse who's really improved as a 3-year-old necessarily. I wonder if that's because they've been racing her out of town, Dan. Out of town and going, some longer distances as well. I think she wants to sprint. Maybe coming back to her home track at Santa Anita will make the big difference for her, because if she shows up and runs a big race in here over a distance that I think is probably her best, I think there is a chance she could pull off a small upset in here.
In the early portion of 2018, in the winter and in the spring, the number 7 Selcourt was one of the better filly and mare sprinters in the land, winning 2 graded stakes races at Santa Anita with triple-digit Beyer speed figures. She went on the shelf for a very long time. They ran her in the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint off a long layoff. She had to hustle from the rail. She got tired. This year she has a prep. We saw the prep. It was a good effort. I am concerned about the 7. I think Selcourt's at her best at 6 furlongs.
I feel the same way about her. I think she's talented. She's really fast, too. But I don't know that 7 furlongs is her best distance. She has a Grade 2 win at 7 with a 104 Beyer. It's worth noting that pace was really slow for her. She just basically walked on the lead that day. That's not going to happen in the Breeders' Cup, so that works against her. But she's talented enough to win this race.
The number 8, Dawn the Destroyer, the number 9, Spice Perfection. They both come out of the Thoroughbred Club of America at Keeneland. We'll take a look at that race right now. Spice Perfection, much the best. Coming off a layoff, stumbled at the start, now splitting horses in the black cap. Far outside, Dawn the Destroyer, coming with her late run. Splitting through that tight spot is Spice Perfection. She's going to make the lead, get the jump on Dawn the Destroyer, hold her safe. This race came back slow. Extra points, though, for Spice Perfection for overcoming trouble off the layoff, and she might have the right running style for this race.
Yeah, she probably does. Maybe you want to add a couple points to that 90 Beyer, too, for her, because she just had tons of trouble in the race and was much the best. She's a 2-time Grade 1 winner at 7 furlongs. There's a way to make a case for her at what should be a fair price. Dawn the Destroyer, I remain a fan of hers, and she'll be closing late in this race. She wants to sit back and make one run. I wonder if she's good enough.
We kick off a pick 4 with the first Breeders' Cup race on the Saturday card at Santa Anita. It's the filly and mare sprint. We'll take a look at our top selections. Sometimes talent trumps all. I haven't learned my lesson. I liked Selcourt off the layoff last year, breaking from the rail. She was going to have to do it the hard way. We saw what happened. Let's see if Covfefe can fend off pace pressure and keep on going. I think she's that good. I'm going 1, 4, 7, and 5. You're going with the turnback, Bellafina. Back class, getting back to the distance she likes, and the track that she loves.
Yeah, those are all the reasons that you could try to make a case for. Obviously, she has to improve. I'll just try and beat the 2 favorites. I'm not way against this. This looks like a Saturday set of Breeders' Cup races where the favorites are pretty strong throughout to me. Covfefe and Come Dancing, I'm not against either one of them. I'm going to take a small shot with Bellafina.
Mike will go with Bellafina turning back in distance. I'll go with Covfefe in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Approximate post time is 11:55 Pacific, and our coverage is supported today by Racing Blue Storm.